Jake Fry, 27th District from Tacoma, Chair of the House Transportation Committee. And this week we're talking about transportation projects throughout the state of Washington. The big challenges are not necessarily unique to transportation, but they're about high construction costs, inflation, supply disruptions in order to get materials for the necessary construction. It's also about a climate where there is a lot of construction work in the Puget Sound area with limited contractors. And so we're competing for the same workers and contractors to bid on projects, and it's sort of a contractor and labor market right now, not one for people who are trying to build something. Well, when we passed the Move Ahead package, we set aside certain percentages, basically, for things like ferry construction, for construction of other needed highway projects, and also for preservation and maintenance. And so the way I'm looking at it is trying to maintain those percentages, but it means in each of those areas less work will get done, right? So it might mean that while we originally thought we could get 3 new ferries, we may only be able to have the funding for 2 ferries. Likewise, if we have a project that's got 3 phases to it, and we thought we had the money for all 3 phases, there may only be 1 phase or 2 phases to that. So trying to keep the priorities, because there were multiple priorities in terms of the state's transportation needs. So I'm trying to lift all boats, so to speak, but not to the level that might have been expected had we not run into these cost increases. We get a lot of people coming in and wanting to update me on how their project is and what their needs are, and so I've been basically telling all of them, I get how important your project is for your community, but I got to balance the needs across the state of Washington, and to be fair to all parts of the state of Washington and all the different kinds of transportation modes that need to have investments made. So I think they understand that. Obviously, this isn't a time to start a bunch of new projects, and there'll be some delays in the projects, but trying to do it in a fair manner. And then once we get our basic plan together, then I'll be sharing that with members that represent those areas, so by the time the budget gets released, it won't be a surprise to our members. They'll be prepared to talk with their stakeholders about what we're trying to achieve here. Well, one of the big takeaways for me was we had a session on our fish culverts, and what we thought we could mostly get done by 2030, there will be more work beyond 2030, and we will be needing to maintain all the construction work. So maybe as much as $7 billion that we thought. It's a bigger problem than what I anticipated, but obviously it's important work to restore our salmon runs, and there is a federal U.S. Supreme Court ruling on that says we need to do this work. So we need to keep our commitments to tribes and others who are really interested in getting back to a situation where we have more abundant salmon runs. We put together an abundant budget, but circumstances have kind of taken over in terms of costs, and it's going to take a lot longer to get all the work that people were hoping for done, but we're going to do it in a way in which we consider the variety of needs and try to make sure that we have a balanced set of investments going forward.